GI. Hey guys, and welcome back, or if this is your first time, welcome. I'm Mickey. This is Mickey Flippins. I'm an eBay reflipper, and today we're going over a few sales, and also talking about flea markets and yard sales, like which one's better to source at. Honestly, both, but we'll go over some of the pros and cons of each, I guess. So, but first sale, really quick, a fun one. Eddie Munster plush from the Toy Factory, I think. Yeah, so he's probably from the last 10, 15, 20 years, probably. But he sold for $15, free shipping, technically. He sold last night, but I'm still waiting on payment for some reason. I accepted an offer, but eBay says it's automatic payment. Yeah, here I am, but at least it's only $15, so hopefully he pays. Either way, glad to relist him if he doesn't. What else could I do? But yeah, yard sales versus flea markets. I don't know if that's really much of an argument, but I think they both have their pros and they definitely both have their cons. Garage sales / yard sales, because garage sales and yard sales, same category. Estate sales are different, if you ask me. They're kind of like on their own other level. But flea markets, you got to be early. I went over that in my flea market tips video. Yard sales, generally, 8, 9 o'clock, 7, 8, somewhere around there. You can still be early to those, but some people don't like that. A lot don't care. They don't mind. But some will advertise in their paper, no early birds or no dealers sometimes, which I find kind of funny. But because how do you tell if somebody's a dealer? But anyway, yeah, so there's that. You can be early to either, but some people might get ticked off at the yard sales. And next sale really quick. This is World War II era Airwatch Service Observer Arm Bazaar. So it's kind of like a civilian group during World War II that would assist in watching the skies during World War II, looking for Germans and Japanese that would be invading us, I guess. So kind of like a home front guard kind of deal thing. But that sold for $18.97, free shipping, which is a decent price for these. That's about, they usually go for $10, $15. So that's a fun sale. Personally, I like the flea markets better, but that's just my personal preference. But I feel like I can go to flea markets and come away with a lot more stuff than I potentially could at a yard sale. Yard sales are a gamble, so are flea markets, really. A gamble as far as what you're going to find. You never know. But at least at a flea market, you can, if you go week after week, you get to know the dealers, you get to know the other buyers, and, people will start seeing what you're buying and seeing what you're paying. And based off of that, they might start bringing you stuff. Other buyers might, because a lot of other buyers are dealers too, and they'll develop death piles like anybody else. And once they get to a point where I just got too much of this stuff, maybe they'll bring it to you. Like, you like this stuff, why don't you buy it? And the same thing with other flea market vendors, so it's something to keep in mind. At a yard sale, it's kind of like a one and done, unless it's like a community sales, and then usually a lot of the same places year after year will have a yard sale in that same house, but that's no guarantee. Also, you can leave your number with people at yard sales. I've had it work a few times where I was able to come back and look at other stuff after the fact, but generally yard sales are kind of like a one and done. You might never see that person again. So if they say they got something you might be interested in, give them that number or get their number, one or the other. try and stay in contact. But that, I mean, and that's a lot easier to do with flea market vendors because you get to see them week after week. So there's that. Ugh. This was kind of funny. Gina listed this for me, and I got it for basically free yesterday. I was buying some stuff at my local mom and pop thrift shop, and she's like, I want this out of the way here. And just kind of threw it in my bag, and I was like, whatever, I'll try to sell it, see what happens. And I sold within a day for $29.98. It's from the movie Planes. I don't know his name, honestly, but it's like he's a rescue helicopter, and he sold for $29.98. So decent sale. And another quick one here. Girder and panel. That's gonna be fun enough package. Made by Kenner, vintage girder and panel action building set for bridge and highway, which you may have seen me buy in my last flea market video, which I paid $1. And also was also talking about how I found something similar. It wasn't this one, but it was similar. The more I looked at it, I was like, I didn't have a bridge. Mine was a building. You could build buildings. And you could put like windows and stuff on them. It was such a cool toy. But this is basically the same idea, except you're building a bridge instead of a building. Which I think it's like the same parts, just you could do a bridge, you know, depending on what kind of a engineering mind that you have, I guess. But that sold for $25 free shipping, and I paid $1, so it's not bad, and it shouldn't be too costly to ship once I get a box for it. And another reason I kind of prefer flea markets to yard sales is kind of going back to my last point, but it's just no guarantee, especially at yard sales. At least at a flea market, you know there's probably going to be vintage or antiques or something along the lines of that you can probably make a profit on. Yard sales and garage sales can be anything, which is good and bad. You know, in my area, you'll see a lot of babies' clothes, which maybe that does good. I don't know. You know, let me know in the comments if I've been passing up money on baby clothes over the years or not. Clothes, yes, that's a good thing, which I'm trying to pay more attention to clothing now. I have in the last couple of years, like after I picked up at a flea market, mind you, a box full of vintage racing shirts from 70s to early 90s, and there were some killer ones in there. I probably made well over $1,000 off that lot. So that opened my eyes to like vintage clothing, and then I learned about the single stitch, this and that. So I've been keeping an eye out for it, stuff like that, vintage jackets, stuff like that, windbreakers, hats. I'm a big hat guy. So I try to pay a little more attention to clothing when I go to sales now, but that's what I'll see a lot in my areas: baby clothes, baby toys, and baby clothing, which doesn't necessarily interest me, but maybe there's some money to be made in toys like that cars thing, planes thing. That's been at that store every time I've gone there for like the last 2 months, and I've never even really looked at it, but I was able to sell it really quick. So, you know, shame on me for not looking up the selling rate of that one. But next, really quick sale. And G.I. Joe Conquest X30. It has the wing somewhere. It had the wing when I brought it in here, but it will when I ship it too. But he sold for $79 plus shipping. So, and that came from my G.I. Joe buy a few videos ago. If you haven't seen that one, go check that one out. I get to check out this really cool antique store in Hornell, New York. And I gotta find that wing. Buried in there. But anyway. So yeah, there's just a few things of between yard sales versus flea markets. Not very in depth. Maybe I'll do a more in depth one later down the line when I do actually take some notes on it. I'm just doing this one kind of on the fly. But yeah, I do prefer flea markets over yard sales. I love yard sales, but in my area, it can be really hit or miss. And in any area, I'm sure they can be pretty hit or miss. But we got a couple really nice flea markets around here that I like to hit up that seem to get me enough stuff to where I don't need to hit the yard sales. But I'm going to try to hit a few more, like the town wines this year. I didn't do any town wines last year, but I was working also, so that made it a little tough for sure over the summer. So I was working a full-time job taking care of people with developmental disabilities, and I left it to do this. So, and I haven't looked back, honestly. So, but yeah, let me know. What do you prefer? Do you like to shop at the flea markets, yard sales, auctions, estate sales? What's your favorite flavor, I guess, and what do you like to find? Let me know in the comments. And if you made it this far, thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate all you new subscribers, all you old subscribers. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Remember to click like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.